Hey everyone, this is Pete, and welcome back to Atari ST A to Z, a series of short playthroughs of Atari ST games, some which I grew up with and some which are new to me. Today is one of the former. Today we're looking at Karting Grand Prix, which was a 1987 release by Anco, developed by Peter Sen of Cirrus Software and written Computer Concepts Fast Basic, then compiled into machine code. It was marketed as a game that combined the fun of kart racing with more skillful sim-like elements, such as being able to change your tyres and adjust the sprocket size of your kart. But it ended up being pretty widely panned on its original release. This is one of the games that my brother actually reviewed during the period he was working for Page 6, and he described it as so poor that it's difficult to think of any positive points about the game, which is pretty damning, isn't it? But how well does it hold up now? Or not, as the case may be. Let's go play Karting Grand Prix.
Okay, here we are with Karting Grand Prix from Anco, a game which I remember my brother absolutely despising back in the day. Well, I thought it'd be interesting to return to it today and see exactly whether it's as bad as we remember it being. So let's have one player, soft tyres, daytime, medium sprocket size, difficulty. Hello. Oh, okay. Select track. Let's start with track 1 and start. All right, here we go. So in this game, you control your car by accelerating by pushing forwards on the controller, and turning left and right by pushing left and right. And dear Lord, this is awful. I mean, look at that frame rate. Why have I stopped? Why? What is happening? Okay, so you can only go underneath the dead center of that bridge. Wow. I mean, I remember my brother despising this game with a passion. But I also remember thinking, God, it can't be that bad, can it? It can't possibly be that bad. Turns out, yes, it is. If you're wondering, by the way, because it's not at all clear, I'm the car that's currently in second place. Catching up with the race leader. At a frame rate so low you can actually count the frames by eye. And this push up to accelerate control scheme has never been a good one for the Atari ST. Stuff like Super Sprint worked much better because in that game you hold down the fire button to accelerate, and it just works much better. Oh god, and you really have to keep pushing forwards as well, because the moment you let go of pushing forward on the joystick, you just grind to a halt. And sometimes you just grind to a halt for no apparent reason, like I've done here. Yeah, I would suspect most of the issues with this game stem from the fact that it was written in a form of BASIC. But it was compiled BASIC, so it should be running better than this, but it just isn't. Does this ever end? I mean, there's no feedback on the screen or anything, is there? It doesn't tell you what lap you're on, doesn't tell you what your time is. There's no score, there's no position indicator. Oh, this really is dreadful. And why'd you just stop under that bridge? It doesn't make any sense. Those of you who've been following my work for a while will know that I always make a conscious effort to try and find the good in things wherever possible. In fact, I republished an article recently on Moe Gamer that I originally wrote for US Gamer when I worked there. That was about John Updike's rules of literary criticism, which basically I'd actually forgotten that I wrote it until I went back through the archives of US Gamer and dug up my old stuff with the apparent impending death of that site. So yeah, I'd forgotten I'd written it, but I was pleasantly surprised to discover that he was basically describing my entire philosophy when it comes to any kind of media, really, which is to explore it, give it a chance, make sure that... I think one of the most interesting things that he puts in those rules is that if something is a failure, are you sure it's the work's failure and not yours? In other words, are you sure that you're engaging with the work on the right level to be able to understand it properly and to appreciate it properly? But there are instances where it's very difficult to do that, and this is one such example. Alright, let's change a few things around and see what difference it makes. Let's have hard tire compounds, and let's have wet conditions, a low sprocket size. I don't appear to be able to change the difficulty. Let's have this figure of 8 track, because nothing could possibly go wrong there. And then start. Alright, so I already started the race facing 90 degrees away from where I'm supposed to be facing. Once again, I'm the car in second place. Moving at an absolute crawl. Disappearing under the bridge. Notice while my sprite wasn't on the screen that the entire pace of the game sped up for a moment. And again, you're getting stuck under that bridge for no apparent reason. I can't move. I can't... I actually genuinely can't move. This is ridiculous. Yeah, so as I was saying, according to John Updike's rules of criticism, which can be applied pretty broadly to any creative work, not just literature, it's worth contemplating if you don't like something, is it because it's actually bad? Or is it because you're looking at it in the wrong way? And this is one of those games where I think it becomes pretty clear very, very quickly that yes, this is just actually bad. I mean, look at the excruciating speed it's going. And that sound is going right through my skull. But yeah, I think this game just lacks every single one of the fundamentals that makes an enjoyable and satisfying racing game. It doesn't have the speed, it doesn't have the good controls, it doesn't have the feedback you need to be able to improve. It has bridges you get stuck under for no reason whatsoever. Oh, this is the worst. I might go so far as to say this might be the worst Atari ST game I have ever played. And I've played a lot of Atari ST games, and I've given a lot of Atari ST games that some people hate a lot more of a chance than some people give them. You may recall a while back I looked at the Atari ST version of Outrun, which is fairly widely despised by a lot of people. And I came away from that actually having quite enjoyed it. It wasn't Outrun, but it also wasn't the incredible war crime that some people made it out to be. This, on the other hand, could quite reasonably be used as a means of torture. But I'm going to finish this race. Or at the very least, I'm going to let the computer finish the race, because I'm certainly not going to win. Right, let's see if we can pass under the bridge without grinding to a... No, this time we've ground to a halt on the grass verge. Oh, thank God for that. Oh dear Lord. Oh dear Lord. I was fully prepared to come to this game and think, oh, my brother was a bit harsh. This isn't that bad at all. This is actually a perfectly competent top-down racer. I mean, it's no super sprint, but it's perfectly competent. But no, that is terrible. That is beyond awful. I'm kind of speechless at how bad that is. Do I want to try one more race? Let's try one more race, just to make sure. Let's have hard tyres, let's have icy conditions, let's have a high sprocket, whatever difficulty, choose a track. Let's go for track number 3 and start. Where even is my car? Oh, I'm there. Okay, so there's only 2 races on this track for a start. And the ice makes it literally uncontrollable. Thankfully, it shouldn't take too long to do 3 laps of this. Oh, just the controls on this are so unresponsive. It takes so long to go around the corner. That's because when you press the direction, it doesn't turn straight away. Okay, so I'm pressing left now. And you see how long it takes you to actually turn. By even a little bit. Some of that may be the icy conditions, but even then. Oh God. Why did I do this to myself? Why did I think this would be a good idea? Because I wanted to give it a fair chance. And I think we've given it a fair chance by this point. Oh, come on, just get around the bloody corner. And accelerating would be nice too. Oh God. This game is despair. This is what despair feels like. I've given it 15 minutes. There are no redeeming features in this game whatsoever. And I am pretty convinced, beyond a doubt, that that is the worst Atari ST game that I've ever played in my life. So, yeah, don't play this. Don't play this, it sucks. And as I say, if you know me well, I don't say that lightly. I don't say that lightly. I try and find the good in things wherever possible, but sometimes there are just no redeeming features. Sometimes something is just bad. And this is just bad. Anyway, I'm glad I put that to rest after all these years, because I've been thinking about this game on and off for quite a while, actually. I've been thinking, I should give it another go and just see if my brother was a bit harsh on it or not. And no, he wasn't. If anything, he was a bit kind to it. So yeah, Karting Grand Prix from Anco. Don't play this, it sucks. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.